Good morning, everyone, and afternoon to all of those that are not in the U.S. In this live stream today, we are going to take a two-prong approach to our opaque paints. First, we'll be creating side-by-side comparisons with 3 brands of opaque acrylic paints, Paper Artsy, new colors, versus our mixes using the Art Deco Americana, Apple Barrel, and I don't know if Pete threw in some other things. We'll find out that here in just a moment. Our goal is to use the color matches we created with more bargain-friendly brands and see how they stack up to the Paper Artsy new colors. We will also be using these opaque paints to alter composition. Sometimes a paint or even a collage is just one gel print pull away from a wonderful piece.
Absolutely.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is P. Patricia.
Mariah.
PM Artist Studio. That's us. Good morning, everyone.
Looking back there, I have the Eiffel Tower in the middle of my head. I'm going to move over here.
That's okay. Yeah. Do you want to stand up and show them your jewelry?
Yes.
See, look at all that. She gets duded up for these things.
That's nice sound. If you hear that, you'll know what's going on.
I put the makeup
my
on.
Earrings.
All right, guys. So we will wait just a moment here or so. Let us know that you are here in the chat. For those of you that know us and love us and show up each week, go ahead and hit that like button for us. We super duper get it out of the way. We super duper appreciate that. Be active in the chat. We always love that. And you know, let's do some art and learn some things, I suppose. That's the plan.
That's the plan. All right, I'm going to head over.
Yeah, head on over.
All right. See you around the corner.
See you around the corner. All right, there is P's station, and I am in the little one. Oh, Sharon, good morning. All right. I was hoping you guys didn't stay up too late crafting, and you're here with us today. That is very, very exciting.
Yeah, we had some fun watching you last night.
Yeah, we did. We had some good laughs. Sorry that we couldn't.
And I'm sorry about your finger. How is it today?
Oh, yeah, that was... Yeah, let us know about your finger.
Ooh.
Robin's here. Good morning, Robin. I would say Robin from California, but all our Robins are from California. It's our original Robin. That's what you're going to be, our original Robin. The leader of the Robins.
Robin A.
Robin A.
Robin
It is
A.
Robin A.
Oh.
Just so happens.
Yeah, how about that?
All right. I think, I don't know who else we want to, like, if we want to wait a little bit or some things to chat about.
How about if I just chat about some of the prints that I
Yeah, you were going to show your prints anyway. She always likes showing that. And kind of some things that we're going to be working on. Oh, good morning, Violet.
Yeah, and when Mariah said I used, I did not. I only used the Apple Barrel and...
Good morning, Sherry. Marianne, and Sharon are here. Great.
And the Art Deco.
We got the Happy Paper People crew.
The Happy Paper People crew?
Yeah.
Wow.
Say that a few times.
Yeah, fast.
Fast.
I was very tempted to bring in my Goldens, but I did not do that for this particular little project here.
We wanted to stick to the bargain paints.
I did. Now, these are all that you see here. Well, except I've printed over some other stuff, so they're not totally Paper Artsy, but majority of it is. And I think what you need to know with these colors, they're very well thought out because they are, they're very harmonious. They work well together simply because they have elements of each other in each one.
Which we proved, I mean, clearly, like in that first, in our video when we mixed them on camera, P kind of used one to create the next one, which sort of messed us up because she ended up having to remake. You're like, yeah,
I
we
had to
probably
remake the whole thing because I just mixed it all in one pot. I thought, you know, what difference does it make? Well, it did make a difference.
It did make a difference in the fact that we had to remake.
Yeah, I couldn't show you what I did. So, yeah.
She's getting good at mixing those colors.
I think this is really quite lovely. I love.
Oh, good morning, Anne.
Everything about this print.
We're just doing show and tell right now. You know how it starts.
Yeah. And to talk about the opacity of the paint, because it doesn't, you know, I used my little, and I'm going to use those today. These little block, my
oh yes,
hot glue gun.
that's why I showed them in the picture.
Really high dollar, you know.
People are usually pretty impressed. Little wood blocks
you
and
can
some hot glue.
See that. And here's an edge, and here's an edge. And this, even though it was opaque primarily, it wasn't totally opaque.
Because once again, like, you can only do, I mean, you can do lots of layers. You just have to do in different sections. Because with the opaque paints, you're going to be covering up stuff.
Yeah. As you can see here.
And that's,
or at least muting it down.
Right.
Here. And if that's what you want, that's great. But just be aware of it. Just be aware. This was one of my, I put it down to catch the edges of the paper, and then I just went ahead and cleaned off a bunch of other stuff here. But I think this is going to be quite nice, and I'm going to set this aside because I'm going to work on this composition-wise.
okay, don't forget which piles you're working on composition.
I'm shoving it under the notes, so I will know. All right, now you can see here, this was, I don't know how many times I've done this, and it happens. You cover up something that was very desirable with something that was not so desirable.
And that's why, one of the reasons that P doesn't love using the opaque paints too terribly much, because, you know, you get kind of in a rhythm, and then if you sort of aren't really thinking about it, and you come along, and then you, like you said, obliterate.
Yeah.
It's a very sad situation.
It is. It is. Very sad situation. Now, I think this is nice, even though it did obliterate some of the goings on underneath. My stamping into it kind of saved it. And of course, this is the middle section because this is a print and this is a print. And I love these colors together. I think they're quite nice.
Yeah. I think they were big in the 90s. Maybe a little more bumped up in saturation, but
I don't know. I think they're very, very soft, nice colors, and I look good in those colors right there.
Well, if anything, you know, one must look good in their gel prints.
Okay. Now,
hey, if you are making jewelry, which we have video for that too.
Yeah,
we've done that. So,
yeah.
You know.
And I'm thinking about doing a Zoom.
Oh, good morning, Debbie. I believe Debbie's new.
Hi, Debbie. Okay, this is agave here, and desert bush is underneath this, and then I'm not really sure what this yellow thing is here. I didn't write that down.
Is that your 2-inch? Those are your little 2 inches.
I'm going to bring in my 2-inch gel plate today.
So she cut her, which one? The 8 by?
No, this was part of my
6.
This is part of the 12 by 12.
Well, I know, but you cut down one of the ones that we had already cut down.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so there's 2 inches left over.
6 by 2, so it was 6 by 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here.
And this is dedicated to Susan. Susan, I don't know if you're there yet, but look at those greens. I mean, I don't think I missed a one there.
Good morning, Lori B. Yeah, those are definitely some Susan Taylor Brown greens.
I'll just hold them up there so that you can just ooh and ah over them.
Yeah, let us know if you're watching our replay. She usually doesn't make it in the mornings, but let us know.
Well, I think it's because of the time constraint there. All right, now this one I absolutely love it, and it has some I'm thinking nickel azo gold.
So you're going to be going over those some today.
Perhaps. I'm very happy with this.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I don't know that I will do anything
okay.
to that.
Oh, Fran is with us. Good morning, Fran.
Oh, and Fran, I tell you what, I was going through my prints and I pulled out some of the ones, the tear-offs.
The tear-offs. The ones we now know what Fran was talking about last week.
Yes, we do.
We also have a fairly decent idea on how to recreate it, even though it isn't necessarily a desirable situation.
No,
because it gets a little tricky.
No. And the problem is once you get it on there, then you've got to work very hard getting it off.
Oh, good morning, Kylie. Here in a little while, we'll drop everybody's links in that's saying hello, and all these other people have channels. The Happy Paper people, Marianne and Sharon, they do, and let's see, Kylie Koo, of course, many of you know Kylie, and if you do have some links, let us know. I have them set with our admins, and hopefully some of our moderators will be dropping those in for us here in a little while. while P gets set up here. So we're gonna do the side by side first. That way, just kind of get that out of the way. P doesn't have a ton of the colors mixed up because it was like, well, we sort of already have them, obviously, with the Paper Artsy. They are going to, we already know that there's some difference in how they will perform. We just know that from some of the test stuff that we've done.
Well, and the thing is I didn't always have, because one or the other of these is really a chalk paint, and the other one is not. It's matte, but it's not chalk. Chalk is as matte as you can possibly go on the scale. So you have like gloss over here, well, matte is on the opposite side.
And the other thing
And
is
then-
technically, because the term chalk paint has been now loosely used, but originally it started out as like furniture paint. Like you use the chalk paint to do furniture and things of that nature. It's more or less, are they craft paints and how opaque they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this says a fresco finish. And, you know, Mariah looked that up. I told her, I said, you know, it's what Michelangelo did
In the
on
Renaissance. It was big in the Renaissance.
Sistine Chapel ceiling. And it involves mixing paint pigments into plaster.
And then there's 3 different ways to do that. So
And
a
you
little
don't
art
really-
history lesson if you want
Yeah.
more of that. I think I'm going to do a
Yeah,
blog
just-
after this.
Look it up.
Where are you looking it up?
Yeah, if you,
I was
you
going to do a
so
blog,
desire.
but you know.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to start off with the agave simply because it is really the basis for all of the others.
The starting point.
The starting point. Even your tundra has some of this in it. And that is one of the reasons that these work. It's because they have parts of each other.
Yeah.
Now, here's my thing here. This is not exact, but all I need to do to make it exact. When I was mixing these, I was trying to do so when the paints were still wet. And you should let the paint dry each time and then go back in if you want an exact match. But, I mean, I think that's pretty close. It's close enough for what we're doing here.
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Exactly. So, what did I use? Well, I used a big squeeze of white, obviously. This
Good
is
morning,
very,
Jenny. Man, we have lots of newbies here. I like it. I like it.
Yes, welcome, welcome. Then I used sage mint, and here's my little, okay, if it has a little star, it's apple barrel. If it has a little star with a circle around it, is Deco Art Americana.
We will have this available in the guide. You guys all know about the guide.
Yeah.
Those of you that don't know about the guide lives either over on our website or in our Facebook group. If you are part of that, it's in the files and things. I will update it this week because these are kind of brand new. I haven't had a chance to get them in there and updated. Plus, I think we need to kind of create a new section for this experiments and
Yeah, we
kind of
really
a-
do, and we don't really
yeah.
we've never addressed chalk. It's mostly just transparent. I do want you to notice the progression here. Because when I started out, and then what I decided it needed gray. And notice how I clipped off the end here so that you can hold them right next to each other, because that really is the only way that you can definitely.
that
if
you
you
know
have-
that it was done.
Yeah. Okay, it still needs a little bit of gray in order to be absolutely true to what we're doing today. All right. Well, now the other thing that I did. Oh, good. I did.
Fran says she's blaming you for the greens that she purchased.
The what?
The greens. She's now got some new greens, I guess.
You know, I use these things all the time to pull off the mucky muck.
The muckety muck. Also a hashtag in the group trending this week.
Yes,
Thanks, Mo.
Mo. And not all greens are the same.
No.
They are not, and not all Prussian blues are the same. I have 3 different Prussian blues over here.
Oh yeah, you guys were doing some great
Yes,
examples
we
and
were talking about
moments.
that, and it was like, look at the difference in this. So, you know, just because something says it
Yeah.
is, it isn't necessarily.
All colors are not interpreted the same
No, they're
way.
not. All right, now, just in order to keep things kind of,
Look at this.
well, and, you know, it's opposite because obviously I'm going to flip the paper. But this is just to make sure that everything, and I've got the plates pretty close here.
All right, Jenny says, so are we using chalk paints? Here's the thing, like I said, so she's loosely using that term. You really should stop using that term.
What term?
Because they're not chalk paints per se.
Well, this says
The Fresco.
chalk acrylics.
Yes.
It's the finish quality that they're referring to. It's not necessarily
That they are chalk.
composition of the paint.
Yes. But that's why I said it's very confusing.
It's extremely matte.
Yes.
That's what we should
Should
say.
say.
It's
Because-
a dry finish.
Right, and then that's why the Apple Barrel and the Deco Arts, being craft paints of Opaque, are similar. Are the most similar. So that's why. So yeah, let's.
Yeah, Plaid provides this chalk finish paint to do furniture, so you can buy quarts of the stuff if you so desire.
See, I looked that up.
Okay.
So I was like, we need to know what we're talking about with all of that.
I did. You will notice these magnificently clean.
Look at that.
I mean, you know, I even spit on a tissue and cleaned up a little bit here and there.
Inappropriateness.
But yeah, so I wanted to start off with it being clean.
Oh, Fran has the tropical green, vivid green, and soft mint.
I think those will
Yeah,
work.
and I really think it is more of a marketing title, especially like with the Fresco, even that name itself, because technically Fresco would be a technique, because you would mix it with, I can't imagine that they were pre-mixing with plaster, but it really the Fresco, again, why I looked it up to make sure, and there are various ways, like you can do it dry, there's like a medium, which I think became the most popular there in the Renaissance period, was like the medium one. There was, I want to call it Bueno because I'm Texan, and
Bueno. I don't know.
it's Spanish. It's
Italian.
B-U-O-N-O. Bueno.
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 Bueno. It's Italian, so I don't know.
Oh, Italian. Yes,
Yeah, it's
not Spanish.
It's Italian. Okay, enough of that. Blah, blah, blah. That y'all could probably really give a rip about.
Let us know
I'm
in the
not.
chat.
Yeah.
I obviously was very interested
Yeah.
because I looked it all up.
Mariah was a lot more interested than I was. I just thought, you know, let's just get on with this. And
Hey, when's the art start?
when's the art start? All right.
I'm going to
And
get those bumper stickers made.
Here's the deal about your chalk finish. That's what I'm going to call it.
Chalk finish. Like
Chalk
that.
finish. We will just go with the Paper Artsy term here.
Jeanette.
Chalk finish paints dry rapidly. I'm not even going to be able to, I'm going to do one, pull it, then do the other, because it needs to happen quickly. And I have clean plates here, so who knows?
All right, and if you guys want to start making your bets in the chat now, how all this is going to work out, go ahead. Placing your bets. Placing your bets.
Okay, I'm going to go from left to right, just for...
Oh, Jeanette. Good morning, Jeanette. She says chalk paint usually has or should have an actual chalk mixed into the paint for slight texture and to ensure lack of reflection. See, Jeanette's like, she's a researcher too.
She is.
She is. This is what I appreciate about her, amongst many other things.
Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and stamp in this, just...
Okay, yeah, Robin says where she lives, the Paper Artsy paints dry almost instantly. Yes, they are very fast. Very. And I think that was one of the things that Mo, like, her kind of frustration with it too,
Yeah.
was regarding how quickly it dries. It just doesn't give you time to do much. But that's why it's great to pull or clean your plate.
And I'm really cleaning my brayer off, which you all know that I never do that, right? I even made up a whole bunch of
Like,
little
right above my head. And it
papers.
matches my outfit.
papers here. And hopefully, I don't know, where's my stamp that I used here?
Which one are you doing?
Oh, I used this one. And look, it's already dry.
Sort of.
Sort of. And I need
Mostly.
to shut up and pull this before it's stuck down. We'll have a situation here. Okay.
Ooh.
Really nice. I mean, oh, look at that.
Smoochy stuff.
Smushies. Smushy smushies. Okay. Good Ganook. I'm going to set this aside for just a minute before I get my, I don't want to contaminate it. And I have paint boogers.
Paint boogers. I'm gonna go see what's clicking over here. It's making me crazy.
It's probably something from the fan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's way too much paint. And I'm using these little gel plates because, well, number one, I don't have a lot of. You can see right away that this is maybe a little bit finer. What do I want to say? Consistency. Try to get that so I don't cover up the name.
Well, process of detection is that, if you have the other one showing, we will know.
Yeah, okay.
See? They're going to the pool.
She escaped her caretaker. Oh, well, we're re-pulling that one because...
Oh.
All right. So, a little bit more gray in this mix, and it will be almost exactly the same. Mariah, I'm going to hand this to you so that you can write...
What am I writing?
Agave.
Oh, okay. Agave.
Agave. I forgot to do that.
Well, I think that was kind of smart, because then that way you didn't have to dig through the pile.
Yes, and okay, I'm changing my paper out. So I want to start off with make sure my brayer's dry. It is. Okay, so we're going to put that aside for a sec.
Hey, man, I'm very impressed.
This one, I worked on this one. You can see I really worked on this one.
There was it.
But I kind of got the hang of it, so the next ones went really quickly. And you can see because I only have like 3 different colors here. Okay, this is Fuzzy Cactus. Now, here you can really see. I had to use some of my paints that were semi-gloss. And actually, I can't remember what the exact... multi-surface paints. You can actually put these in the oven and seal them.
Oh, yeah, we were pretty impressed by that.
Yeah. But you can see a little sheen there. So that affects your end result here. But, I mean, other than the
Don't be
shine,
mad at us about the finish.
The finish, yeah.
We're talking about
Look at
color.
that color there, folks. Now, come on.
Oh, good morning, Becky.
You got to give me some love on that one because I think that one's like the most spot on.
Oh, goodness. So, Marianne says that her brayers are twice their size because they have so many layers of paint on them. Pete cleans them off and then saves them.
Oh, the skins.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know.
I have to because
some of them are
after a while they don't clear the thing there. Look at that. What is that?
I started picking up goobers.
Yeah, it's one of those paint boogers.
Paint boogers.
You want to get those off there. Okay.
It's snot.
Whoa. All right, now I've shortened
Where's
this
Lisa?
out.
Where is she this morning?
Where is she?
Where is she?
Paper. She's sleeping in. She's lollygagging. Get on here.
Yeah.
We need you.
I need you for the booger joke.
Okay. Next one here is what did I say this was? Fuzzy Cactus. Fuzzy Cactus. Okay.
All right, for our new friends in the chat and just watching, I know some people just like to watch. They don't like to be in the chat. That's cool.
No worries.
No worries. One of the reasons that P is so good at paint mixing or just color mixing is her background in batik, which, mixing dyes. So she has a very keen eye and understanding of color. Because she had to, and she had a mean teacher.
Hey, you know what? She was, but by golly, I'll tell you what, I learned some stuff.
Yes.
It was painful,
but
and sometimes unpleasant. I would come home and I would devise all kinds of imaginary ways that, she could meet her demise as I'm driving home after a very stressful day, because I also did work study with her, so...
Maybe it was too much time together.
And I think, yeah, definitely. And I think that she's passed on, so I feel pretty good, about not.
Jeanette says you thought it was paint, but it's not.
Oh, I forgot to put in a...
The part of the joke is that it's not a booger. It's not.
Yeah, it's not. Okay, this is already dry, and I forgot to stamp it, but we're just gonna go with that.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Okay.
We're doing the color thing.
We're doing the color thing.
She's just trying to, make them useful for later.
Yeah.
Which we can do anyway.
I can always do that.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to try to just use...
And so isn't that crazy that, like, you see it in the bottle, and then you squeeze it, put it down. And that was one of the reasons, like, on our first round, remember, we didn't have the actual paint, so we were really just going off of pictures of the
bottom
packaging.
Of the...
Yeah. And that's why it had to be adjusted once we did have the actual paints. But she was not far off there either.
I wasn't. I was pretty darn...
I was pretty darn impressed. I like the side-by-side plate business. I mean, it's kind of a little element of excitement.
I was pretty proud of coming up with that. I mean, yeah, it's pretty logical, but sometimes that isn't.
Like I told Robin earlier this week, sometimes it's the obvious things that really escape me. Now remember, this is not dry.
It's getting there.
That one looks really different in the camera.
It does?
It does. Are you sure that you had the right...
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty sure. Yeah, this is way yellow.
Yeah.
But now, okay, it's not... It will take a little bit.
We'll come back to that, because see, look, you can tell it is starting to dry up and it's changing.
See down here?
It's very tricky stuff, that paper artsy business. Like, those colors alter quite a bit. We were surprised.
Now, if you'd write on that for me, I would very much appreciate it.
This is cactus.
Fuzzy cactus.
Fuzzy cactus.
Fuzzy cactus. Okay, next is desert bush. And this one, I should have written more down here. At this point, I was really kind of burnt on mixing this paint, which, I wasn't using for anything really specific. Because usually when I mix paint, I have a purpose for it. I want it to do something. I want it to be something. Go somewhere.
Yeah.
But this was just kind of,
She doesn't like the experimental
an
thing.
exercise in...
Color.
Yeah.
Mixing.
Color mixing. Get out your dead gum color wheel. And you will...
You're a little sassy today.
Yeah. You will be happy. Okay, where are you, desert bush? There you are.
Speaking of which, if you need a color wheel, a very simple one, remember, we have that available on our website.
And you can do anything. Once you learn how to use the color wheel to make things happen, and then adding black and white to the mix if you want.
Oh, did you hear that?
Yes.
She's
as long as you're doing opaque, you can add white and black up the wazoo, and it's.
She doesn't like to talk about it in transparent paint.
About it. Okay, I need a new paper so I'm not having cross contamination. My brayer is dry.
Oh, yeah, that was very good. Very scientific. I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to eliminate as many variables as possible.
So if anybody comes back and watches this.
Yeah, they can say whatever. But the attempt has been made.
Yes. We have some good,
control the variables.
Anne has also done some great experiments in the group. She did the whole Mondo, what is it?
I know, and I was gonna, there we go with another.
Please remind me, Anne, what's the Mondo something? It's the Target brand.
Mondo Llama.
Mondo Llama, we like the names.
From the W store.
Mm-hmm. No, Target. The T store.
I thought it was the W store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stampy stamp, 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 stamp.
Washy washy.
Washy washy. Knocky knocky. Been hanging out with Izzy.
Just go ahead and fall over.
I've been hanging out with Izzy way too much. Everything's rhymy.
I told Mariah, I said, I'm not going to get out all these colors here because I don't have room for
knock them all over.
I'm knocking them all over anyway. This is why I like these little squat jars. They don't fall over. Now, I do lose them under the table.
They do roll about.
They do roll about.
I found one in our, cleaning.
Okay, there we go.
I like that.
This is really one of my favorites.
I like your wavy.
Okay.
Oh, actually, that's just kind of scribble. ziggy-zaggy.
Yeah. Okay. Keep
Okay,
head
so
in the game here.
remember-
Desert Bush. We're on Desert Bush.
All right, I have to, I have to kind of do the...
Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
That's from the air conditioner.
Yeah,
Whipping that
we're
around
right
as
under
it
a
came
vent.
out of there.
But we don't want it hot in here. Okay, so remember the mix, what we're calling the PM, is various amounts of the Art Deco Americana and the Apple Barrel brands. We will have that ready in our paint guide. And remember, our guides are not recipes. They aren't going to have exact measurements, but roundabout, hey, a little dabble, dop. What is your
Well, and
dollop?
I'm assuming you all have eyeballs.
Yes,
and
so you
have
want
a
to kind
brain.
of, yeah.
So you got to just look at it and figure out, what do I need to add to it to make this happen? And you get better at it.
And then the ones that we're comparing are the Paper Artsy, because they are pretty pricey. I mean, those little bottles are almost $8.99, I think is what I figured out after shipping. So
Now,
you did good on that one,
I
Pete.
did good on this one. This is my favorite one. I really enjoyed mixing this.
She likes that color.
I love this color.
She used to live in that color. Like, I think
I did. I kept buying everything.
Army
everything
green was
I
your
had
black.
Everything I had was this color. I was just looking in my closet and I was going, wow.
She likes shopping at the
Yeah.
what was it? The Army store. Not the Salvation Army, but I remember you used to go and get your pants there, and that's when Nathan went through his, Army jacket.
Oh,
You could buy like
yes.
grenades and things there, not like active.
They
grenades,
weren't active, but yeah, they.
You know.
It was kind of scary.
If you want to just put it on the shelf.
Oh, here, Mariah, I forgot. I need to send this across.
Look,
to
she was
you
keeping
so you
it. She
can
was liking it so much.
write on those.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, I like this one also. This one was a bit of a whip, I will just say.
She did struggle.
I did struggle, and I finally, it's very close to that, and if you look at the places where I kind of spread it out a little more, but the problem is again, I had to use some paints that were not chalk finish. I finally ended up with this one down here, and if you can just look, is that coming out?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at the places where I spread it kind of thin. I mean, it really is pretty much spot on.
So the finish is affecting the final look.
Yes.
Is what.
Yes.
Yeah. And ultimately that is.
Yeah, because the light is reflecting off of this
Yes.
semi-gloss stuff. Okay, so I want to talk about this because this is where you're gonna run into a problem. This was my first mix. Second, see, I'm getting there. Third, put a little bit more. So then I had to bring in cinnamon stick because it didn't matter. This was too cool, too blue.
Yeah.
So this cinnamon stick, if you have that, that's the one that we got in the...
Oh, yeah.
Remember,
busted.
it was already opened and smushing around all over
So
the
we
place.
got a discount on that.
Yeah, we did. And
Off
these,
of the $1.99 or whatever it was.
these paints are like $1.39, and
Some of them were 99 cents.
and you can get them on sale. But you can see it came with its own little. Yeah,
But they were very nice about it.
didn't lose that
No.
much. But you absolutely have to have that in order to mix this little jobber here. And I know you wouldn't think that looking at the bottom, but you can see how the bottom,
You're getting affected by the actual,
Yeah.
hazy or the, milkiness
Okay.
of the
see
plastic.
the difference there? Yeah. So,
That was a tricky color.
it was a tricky color, but a good one. All right. Put this back together. Mariah can put this in the book. And
And I'll have that up this week. So, all right, are you
Yes.
going to do your testy test?
I'm going to do my testy test thing here.
Don't forget to stamp and
Oh,
stamp, stamp.
whoa. Got to change papers. Do not want to cross-contaminate here. Okay, brayer is dry. All right.
Thank you, guys. They're loving the match, saying good job. Good jobber, P.
Thank you. That's what Izzy used to say. Working.
Working.
Good jobber.
Our life is really
Yes.
Very much revolves around the 4-year-old.
Yeah, if you haven't figured that out by now. Okay. Now, this is a little juicy. I'm going to try to get that off of there.
Yeah, Anne says she doesn't care for the food, super fast drying. That's been our, probably, yes, the largest negative about them is just how quick.
You cannot lollygag
No.
here.
But here's the
gotta get
thing.
on it.
You guys know. We know. Just mix it in with some impasto.
Absolutely.
And then there.
Put a little retarder in.
Or, you know, mix up your own version of it with the paints that you do have. If you have things that are similar to what we've talked about, it does not have to be the apple barrel or the American. Just what do you have on hand? I mean,
I really, the first batch, I just mixed with all my Goldens and
yeah,
stuff.
she really wanted to go. I was like, don't do that because, you know, not everybody has those. Everybody has some craft paints around just for whatever little project. I feel like. If you're here in the, you know, watching this stream, I'm pretty sure you own some
Well, I
craft paints.
slobbed some over there again.
That's okay.
Sorry. But, okay, there's PM. Here's Paper Artsy. I do absolutely love these colors, but I don't know that I would... Look at that. Did you see that?
Yeah, again.
Whip around there? Holy cow. Well, that's way more paint than I need, but I was really into that whipping around there.
Oh.
Whoa! Check that out. Look at that. Wispy stuff. That may be what happened over here. I don't know. This is a very... When you start mixing neutrals, and this is about as neutral as you can get, you have just increased your... And you know me, I don't usually brayer off. But the reason I am here...
Becky says, yes, there's craft paint around. I think we all have, like, just, oh, I bought that set because, you know, like, it was on sale
Look at
already.
those really...
Like,
oh, those yummy, yummy colors. Look at those yummy colors. Let's get some of that.
let's try that stuff out.
Well, you better be ready to lay down some big bucks for 4,
Yeah.
33...
These are definitely not in the craft paint, like, price range.
I
That was $33 for the 4 of those.
And they're less than 2 ounce.
She's
See
thoroughly,
that?
she's thoroughly convinced.
The bottle is smaller.
We had a similar discussion about yogurt one day.
It doesn't have any ounces on it either, that I could find.
Oh, here. Yes, I mean, I meant to look at
Yeah,
that.
I wanted you to look at that because there may be some print on there that's...
Yeah, wait. Well, and it's kind of hard to read on the back because I don't know who they have designing their packaging, but I can help if you need any.
It needs some help. I don't think it's a
Oh, it's 50 milliliters. It's right above the barcode.
There you go. Well, I don't know how many. This is 59 milliliters.
Oh, so see, you get more.
I told you.
She was right.
I told you.
I was like, I think
But
this is-
I'm very proud of this one. This one has a little bit more blue in it, and I could have, you know, messed
Tweaked it.
around with it for a while and whatever. But
made
again,
a big pot of it.
yeah, that's exactly right. And I
It was growing.
just did not want to keep using my paint that I want to use for other things for this
Yeah,
particular.
because especially since we already, you know,
project.
have them.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that P will be using them. We'll just be mixing impasto and other things in with them. Because we have them.
Okay, well, that was fun.
So there you go.
There you go.
That's-
Now, what I'm going to do with these, I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you, I will mix in some different stuff with those, and they will not even be recognizable in the future.
Do you remember your joke about the desert bush?
No, that was not nice.
Well, it was slightly inappropriate, but
It's
I thought
like-
you could PG it up a little bit. You can probably put it all together a little bit there. If not,
No.
you know, come
Well,
ask in the group. Come
We
later.
had fuzzy cactus.
That's right. It was, well, oh yeah.
You want to be careful because if dessert and desert are very, you know, people get those mixed up spelling wise all the time. But
Dessert bush could be a
dessert
bit.
bush. Yeah, fuzzy cactus. Probably, yeah. All right.
Yeah, Kylie's like, what? She even popped out and she's like, whoa, $33. Yeah, that's pricey. Those little things are like $8.99 a piece.
That's why I was pretty excited about mixing them. All of the, I think Mariah, can you call them out and I'll get them out here because I think this is something. All right,
Okay.
I know I used sage mint
Okay, wait, are we starting with the greens? We're
Yeah.
starting at the top.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I used...
Did you give me, yeah, you did give me the agave. Okay, so you've got your white, your sage mint.
Okay, just a minute here. Sage mint. I know that I've got...
Now this could fall under the, you know, you've seen that post that goes around in on Facebook and stuff about, oh, I can make that myself. You know, it's the $20 item that you're like, oh, I can make myself with only $100 worth of.
You know, $200 worth of stuff to make a wreath. I'm pretty
that's not
sure. No, Mermaid Parade wasn't one of them. Oh, here it is. This one. I used this one. I used this one. I used this one. What else? Read me some more.
Okay, so jewel green.
Got jewel green.
And then gray fox, which we thought might be funny because she's like,
that
gray
was
fox.
another.
She's like, it's
Between
either
the
fox or
dessert
box. What
bush
do you
and-
think? I'm like, I'm pretty
And
sure
gray
it's
box.
fox.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. Now, can you see it's kind of covered up with a paint smush? So I wasn't being ugly. All right, what else?
Okay. Hold on, guys, and I will get back and read the chat there for a second. Okay, yes.
Celery shoot. I know I have that.
You got the poetic plum,
Poetic plum. Got it.
cinnamon stick,
Cinnamon stick.
and
Black, and I have to, oh, here's white. I just want you to
celery
see
shoot.
celery shoot.
And I think that is it, because it said they all have similar ones, so, you know.
Okay, here's
there
your
you go.
wad of paint. Now let's just round it off to
$2
a buck
each.
a piece.
$2 a piece. Even.
No, because it's $1.39, so it's less than, yeah.
Okay.
And you can get them on sale for this I got for 99 cents. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. $8 worth of paint
Even if
here.
it's $2, is 16. There you go.
Or even if you want to double it, $16 as opposed to 33. Plus, then you have all these wonderful colors to mess around with and make some others.
I love that poetic purple.
I just think I do too.
That's like I love that.
Poetic plum.
Yes,
And
poetic plum.
poetic plum and celery shoot are awesome colors to use together. Okay, well these are, you know.
All right, look at that.
Look at that.
That's the side-by-side comparison. We are now going to be moving on into
And I do
composition.
I love the you know, that you can pull this out and you can whip some fuzzy cactus on whatever it is.
Whip some fuzzy cactus on that.
And
There's your desert
it's
bush.
wonderful, but I'm just not sure that the price is commensurate
Yeah.
with the quality.
But if you have some and you do want a gel plate print with them, buy some impasto. Plus that will extend it out further.
And make it slightly less opaque.
Yes.
And you can control your opacity with that impasto stuff. And you guys know how to play with that. Boy, I'll tell you what.
If you don't watch our
I'll
last,
watch-
like, you know,
yeah.
20 live streams or whatever, you know.
And you can go over and watch Judy. And
Oh,
Judy
Judy's
uses it
becoming
in
a
all
master.
kinds of fabulous, different, unique ways. Okay. Now, I may use this again today. I don't know. But I probably. Yeah. I'm trying to fit it on my little card here. It's not.
Tell you
I
what,
know it all
we're
goes on there because
surrounded
it's
by
been there before. There we go. Scoot that one over a little.
somebody wasn't in the right spot.
All right, so where are we here? What do we want to do next?
Composition.
Composition.
Now, do you want to give the crowd a little bit of, try to give them a little bit of the torn off paper?
Oh, we should.
I mean, Fran
we've
would just,
got
Fran
Fran.
might just lose her mind.
Fran and Leslie, my two
Super fans of the,
tearing off. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these gel plates here because I'm not going to use
look,
these.
we've even created a pile because we were sorting out things. I was like, oh, that was another one when it happened. So,
Yes. Look at this one.
look at this one.
Mariah's always excited about them because then she can go in with her little sprays and fill in these little torn off.
Kylie says, P, you're moving those bottles about like chess pieces. It's all like, it's a big puzzle around here. It's like you have to put it back right on the cart because.
No, I don't. I just whip them up there. I'll go back and organize them later. I don't really care. Okay, so here is a great example. Do you see all these areas here?
I think this might have even been the one that Fran was taught. Well, no, 'cause that was
No.
like a shimmery one.
Yeah, you can tell this one has some nice...
So remember, we think that there are a couple of factors, or a couple
Here.
of ways you can get.
All right, you
To
see
it.
this jobber right here? See that little piece?
Yes.
That's how you get the white paper, and you get the effect of, you know.
The blocked out pieces.
Yeah, I
The map.
purposefully. Now, here's something that is instructive. If you want to rip that off and you want it to stay on your gel plate, you can just go ahead. Once I see that start happening, I pull from the opposite side, and then I can pull this off. I can actually glue that back down, and it's not like you can't even see it, really. So the only thing I'm missing is that little thing right there, which, you know, in the whole scheme of things, that's really not too terribly horrible. All right, now, boy, look at this jobber. And I can tell you exactly
It's got some chunks.
what happened here. It's called
Metallic.
metallic paint. See, it started up here. I've got a big chunk here, which is still accepting. After a while, your paint no longer will stay on those little spots. It just repels. It doesn't. It no longer works. Okay, here's another one. Boy, you'll have fun with this, Mariah. Big chunk. You can tell because you see the shiny and the matte.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Ripped off a big chunk of paper there.
So, metallic paints are one thing.
Yeah.
The paper that you use, if you're using the like 20-pound copy paper that has a little bit of tooth to it in a way, it tends to really soak up that paint, but then it will also start to pull off, and then that's how you get those chunks as well.
And also, you know.
Africa. She's saying that they look like maps. Fran, I love you.
Okay, well, anyway, I wanted to show you those. Tell you that it's not necessarily something that I
No, because it's very hard to get all that stuff off, and then we would spend 20 minutes cleaning plates and doing all that business. But we didn't want to forget you, leave you out, and think that we were just, you know, not
Blowing you
trying
off.
to, you know, figure out the perfect storm of the perfect storm.
and the thing about it is there are so many variables involved there that
Oh, there you go. She ordered some 50% cotton-rich paper. You will probably have that happen.
yeah, you probably will.
Use it with a little bit of metallic.
Yeah, you've got the
You've got-
wonderful conditions for a
Yes.
something horrible to happen there. All right, look at this. I want y'all to know that I take these sessions very seriously, and I make notes. I give Mariah notes. We talk about it. We have little.
We run through.
We have dry runs. You know, we do take our business. Oh, look at that.
We take things seriously.
Yes, that wasn't quite dry. Okie dokie. All right. So we're going to talk about composition here, and we're going to talk about how to fix less than desirable compositions.
Oh, hey, did you know that Becky's mom, she is a, she does ceramics, and she never used just, Mom did ceramics too, and so she understands, now mixing those colors is a whole other world of
Oh, it
stuff.
is because you
You
don't
can't
even
do it
know.
by eye.
No, because you have oxides. You
have to have notes.
minerals. You have. Oh yes, I used to drive my professor
'Cause she would never-
tech because I would forget to write something down on my mixtures, and I'd come up with a beautiful, fabulous glaze, and Vern would just be going crazy about it. And he said, "All right, Patricia, would you like to share that with the class on how you made that?" And he knew that I didn't write anything down.
I'm good.
I said, "I can get you in the ballpark."
See? It
There,
started
yeah,
back
yeah,
then.
yeah. But I would just go into the lab because it was so wonderful. There were just jars of stuff lining the walls.
It felt like a, you know, Harry Potter
it
kind of
was-
situation
yes.
where I'm mixing
Yes,
potions.
I felt like an alchemist. Okay, so let's talk about composition. Composition is the one thing I think that kills something more than anything. You can be a fabulous gel plate printer.
Oh, Sharon was also a ceramics person.
I love ceramics. If this little college over here, as soon as it gets finished building,
Well,
out
they're
here,
done building. I don't know if they're going to have arts and stuff
I'm
over
hoping
there,
that
but-
they have,
Yeah.
you know, an adult education program. I don't want any more degrees. I don't need that. I just want to use their facilities. I'll pay you to use your facilities. 'Cause I don't have a kiln. I don't want it. Okay,
I'll leave
enough
you
of
alone
that.
about all that.
All right, so this one here, you can see Mariah talked about the 2-inch. Well, it was one that was cut off because I needed it to be, it was cut off of another larger chunk of but here's another chunk of it. This is just, it was a happy accident. It is something I can use to place things strategically. Now, I'll talk about these later, and this is another one
Ooh, I
here.
love that color fest that's
That
happening
pink.
there.
That pink in there, yeah. And I do want to talk about this one. But using the smaller gel plates, you can place things. And you can get textures, you can get all kinds of things on those little tiny gel plates. I don't know, I think it's like less than $10 for 3 of them.
Oh yeah, they always have those little, and I think I even have that in our commonly used products. That will be in the description below, like right now, if you want to know all the products that we typically talk about and all of that. Plus, Mo has been super awesome and created links over inside of our group. You guys are taking care of us. I appreciate it.
I
we really do need all the help we can get.
I had tears in my eyes the other day.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, we love you.
All right, I've got to look what I wrote down here because sometimes yeah. Okay, what keeps you from going around the whole page? Well, one of the things that keeps you from going around the page is having an arrow that's pointing out. If you have elements that have points on them,
Point them in.
point them in. Or make a roadblock so that they can't escape.
Now,
It's kind of like herding sheep.
if you're going to bind it as a book and you want people to go that way, it can point into the other page.
It can. It absolutely can. Anything directing the eye off the page should be avoided. It is a very bad design thing. It drives me crazy. And when I see it, that's all I can look at. I can't look at whatever wonderful things are going on. I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, so enough said about that.
Well, and-
Repetition.
Not enough said about that.
Oh.
One of the reasons that we're going through this, I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Go nuts. These are pieces and parts of knowing your elements and principles for good design. If you want to have successful composition, these are important.
That's very important. And even though you don't necessarily,
Know the
you will have a feeling when something feels just like there couldn't be anything changed on it to
well,
make it.
remember Sharon and Marianne were talking about that last night. Now
Yeah.
they spoke like of the feeling. And it's so
Yeah.
funny that you guys were doing that because we've been
But
working on this like
there
all week.
is a reason for that feeling. And the other thing is focal point. You don't always have to have a focal point. But what you need to have is you need to have some element, color, line, shape, texture, that will take you from here to here and then the journey around. Because
That in itself will create a focal
Yes.
point. It
Well-
doesn't have to be a thing right in the middle of the page.
No, and whatever. But you need to have that. And contrast is the other thing. Why do you look here? This is the area where you have the most light next to the darkest. Or up here because you've got texture, you've got a design, whatever. But you see that and then you go, oh, well, there's some red down there. Oh, look, here's some yellow. Here's some more yellow.
Yeah, so your brain connects those things, and then it's either looking at the patterns, which are directing motion, or the colors. You have both things.
Okay, now this is almost done, but I didn't want to finish it up because I wanted to do it with you today. But here's some of this.
Stencil butter.
The butter.
I love the butter. She's not in love with the butter
I'm
as
not.
much as I am in love with
No.
the butter. Because they're like my colors.
Yeah, I think they're kind of pukey.
Shiny, happy people over here.
Yeah.
She's, grungy, dirty.
Which I know that there's the shiny, happy people out there. I made this for you.
She's the darker version of the REM song. I'm shiny, happy people.
Here, this is where I lean.
I really wish I knew more REM songs. I mean, I do know them. I don't know the name
All
of
right,
them.
all right.
Put it
now,
in the chat.
back to our composition here. We do have a focal point, and it was an inadvertent focal point. Where do you look first here?
Let us know in the chat. Waiting. Remember, there's a little delay.
A lag.
We'll just chit-chat amongst ourselves.
And the reason I want to get rid of this is simply because I don't want a focal point. I want
More movement.
the movement. I want the rhythm to take over. I want the rhythm to draw you around this, and I want you to come back, and I want you to look at this again. I want you to look at the, I don't want you to stop right here.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens.
That blaring little green.
That limey green spot there. So
it's almost white.
We're going to take care of that momentarily. Okay. I don't know. Am I done here? Should I move on?
I don't know. I'm enjoying. Let us know.
Okay. Well, I just really, what happened here is this was really ugly in the middle here, and kind of one of those opaque situations that I always telling you to avoid. See that? Opaque.
I think you were testing out some of the...
I think I was. And anyway, I thought, well, that's no problem. We'll just go over it with something really bright and colorful.
Did you stencil that?
Puzzle, yeah.
And that's our puzzle stencil. Hey, we haven't really talked about that. Hey, by the way, we make stencils.
The puzzle stencil, and I noticed...
links below.
Yeah. Mo was using it. I love...
Hatra. Oh, Hatra's.
Yes.
Her journal is just... I mean, that's what I would want a junk journal to be.
But I'm going to do something with this also with my 2-inch thing.
I'm loving this. This you guys have seen now for 3 or 4 weeks.
Right. And all I did to this, really the only thing different is remember I had the white spots out here? Okay, I decided...
From the texture paste.
With the texture paste. And I'm not sure. No, it wasn't Light and Fluffy. I think it was US Art Supply. It was either that or Golden, because I just had a little bit and I was trying to use it up.
Yeah, we'll use it up.
And then I showed it to Mariah and I said, okay, when you look at this right away, what is the first thing that
Oh, hey, let's rewind a little bit back, because now they're starting to kind of get some of this stuff in the chat. And so they were going to that circle, and the reason that your eye was drawn to that circular area on the one that you're going to work on is due to that, because you have that high contrast area right there.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And if I wanted you to do that, I would leave that, but I don't.
Well, yeah, and if you wanted, you could come back in with a little bit more of like that green and bring it down below.
Yes.
So you really got more of a orb.
Now, at this point, I'm really not going to be able to do that with the transparent paints because I have too many layers on here. And this is where you can really utilize.
Yeah, now let's get into it. Now I'm excited about this.
Okay. All right, moving on. All right, I'm going to
put
do
that on
that.
top.
I want to talk about this real quickly here because I think this is done. I feel like this is done. I have colors repeated. I've got good flow. I have my edges neutralized so that they're not taking you elsewhere. I've got good repetition of my textures.
She has 3 blue areas.
And I've got 1, 2, 3. I like 3s.
She loves 3s.
And you'll see that on this next one because this is okay, you can see I had 2 prints here, right? Actually, no, I had a square. Can you see the square?
Yes.
Okay. Then I printed over it with the, I guess this is my 5x7, I'm guessing. It's not my 8x6. Okay, anyway. Then I stenciled on it. And now what I think it needs...
So that is even some of the coffee stuff that we did.
Yeah, this is the coffee.
Various coffee ones.
Yeah. Different coffees.
Now that's the Miami Vice blue that she likes to make, and then she put it in with the light and fluffy mix.
Yes, and Mariah was not happy. She says, I just think it's too much. I don't think it's too much. Sometimes I follow her feelings, and sometimes I don't. But this down here had to happen here. Why? Because I didn't have any yellow on this side at all. I've got this lovely magenta purple stuff here, which I'd like to get some of that maybe over here. Because it's totally lacking. Now, I don't know what to do about this green here. I don't know if I've got enough of that I don't really... This is the same value. It may not be the same hue, but I don't know.
We'll see how that goes.
We'll see how that goes.
Let's get this composition rocking. I love this thing. I think it's kind of done. It's very Robin McClendon.
I feel like it's done.
I
don't know that I'm loving the white. I might need to knock that back just ever so slightly.
Oh, and you know how I could do that? I could spray on top of it, and then it won't mess any of the other stuff up.
There you go.
And kind of rub it in there. That's where a lot of like the Eyes Ink Seth After sprays come in very handy because they are highly pigmented, they will soak right into that.
Yeah,
light and
Judy,
fluffy.
Judy was doing that yesterday with some
I need to watch
bookmarks and
Judy's.
tags.
Yeah.
And showing how, because she uses the impasto like I use.
Felicia, she just snuck in there. Hello, Felicia.
Judy uses the impasto as through the stencils.
Yeah, she creates texture with the impasto.
Yes, she does, and does a really bang up job of that.
She mixes it with all kinds of things. She's
Yeah.
kind of a mix master with the impasto. She loves that stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, she comes up with some great results.
does.
What I'm liking here, I'm loving this. So what I would ask Mariah, and Mariah is absolutely a whiz at making this turquoisey, aqua, dirty blue. I think that is what it needs. And
Okay.
what would be really beautiful is right next to this orange here, if that could happen there. I would stay away from this. In fact, you might even bring some this to put over there. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's try to do that kind of maybe at the very end, so then that
I'm
way
going
she'll...
to hand you this because that's totally
Yeah.
on you. I don't know. I'm not. I want to take care of this jobber here first. And basically, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to gel plate. I'm just going to take my. I don't know. If you have-
Crayons. What about the crayons?
Oh, well, I could, but I don't want to do that. These little brushes here, these little fan-shaped brushes, you can see it's kind of, this is a very, I've had it for a long time, and I didn't use it a lot. But I want to take this down just a tad. I don't want to completely obliterate it. So I've got some...
I put a clip in the
Oh,
wrong
my.
area.
This is number 28.
All right, so from the guide, this will be number 28.
Now, I'm not going to just put this on here, you know,
Direct.
straight out before I check it out on a little piece of paper.
It's kind of like doing makeup. When you do this fine little finish work business, you know, like when you're testing makeup, kind of want to make sure that it looks good.
Okay, I think that's going to be lovely. Number one, it has a relationship to that color right there. It's going to knock back that just ever so slightly without totally,
You want little
Making
hints. You want little hints.
yeah. And just, you know, for chuckles and grins, you go ahead and smush a little bit of that around hither and yon. Take a little
This
bit.
is usually the stuff that she does like at night when, you know, because
I'm watching murder.
Yeah.
Okay, now I do have, I'm looking down here, and see, you didn't notice that until you took that away.
Yeah, then you get kind of directed.
And look at me putting something underneath instead of smooshing up my thing. I want this to,
And it got a little heavy there.
no worries.
Well, one nice thing is when it's of this stage, or at this stage, there's enough acrylic paint that if you're very quick, you can do it. She just did there with a wipe.
Yeah, you can wipe it away.
Yeah.
And see, we've got a little bit down here where the gel plate didn't come to the edge. See how that's helping? And I've got this white edge. I'll probably just whack that off. I'm not even going to mess with that. But I kind of like some of this stuff down here, so I really, in this corner up here, remember we don't emphasize our corners.
These are P's rules, just
My
for
rules,
everybody.
until I,
Yeah.
this Mariah says, until you decide.
Until she
you
says
want me.
otherwise.
Okay.
She goes through life.
Manufacturing my own reality. Okay.
I like
Good
that.
Nuke. Done. Boom.
And you think you're flipping around there, crazy town.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to whack this off down here, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to mess with that.
All right, well, you're all blurry right now because you
Okay, do I need
freaked
to?
out the camera. Oh, look at that ring.
Well, I can actually wear rings on this side. I still can't wear my wedding ring because I've got some itchy eczema spots there that...
We're going to come back and view at some
Yeah.
point.
Okay. I probably should have a thing of water here to put that brush in.
Oh, would you like
'cause-
me to get you some water, ma'am?
No, you don't need to. I have some right over here.
Oh,
I'll
goodness.
just pour my water glass into my...
Is that new or old water?
Izzy now asked that.
Is that new water? I don't want that.
Gigi, is that new water?
And then we were discussing whatever this little thing is rolling around in the dish there. Why are we still like out of focus? Can you do one more time and then just, yeah, slow. There we go. Thank you.
I'm so glad that you do that because, you know, I've watched people that.
Well, you don't know.
You don't know. You just
Moving
don't.
along, you don't know.
You don't know. Now, which one was I going to?
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. Okay, I'm going to work on
Remember,
this.
the jokes are free.
Next chart. Keep that little over here. I won't use that. Oh, I wanted to talk about this real quickly before I start doing
Oh,
it.
goodness. More showy-telly stuff.
More showy-telly, sorry.
She
I'll
squirreled
be
on me
fast.
while we were cleaning.
Because, okay, y'all remember it was in Kylie Koo and
Yeah,
Nina
Kylie
Rabin's-
Koo's, it was
This
the
was
Tone on Tone.
Tone on Tone. This was my favorite. And somebody said, and then, or what? Or
No,
what
I
comes
swear
n-
you were still hung up on that, and that was actually my post,
Oh.
and it
Well,
wasn't
anyway.
in there.
So, these are and thens. I did a quick stencil off, rub off, took some of our leaf paper,
Yeah, we're trying some new techniques there.
cutting them out and putting them down. Can you see this? Here is my little
Oh, I'm now seeing
ATC
that.
with the light and fluffy.
I guess maybe we need to make that into an actual like purchase, for sale.
Well, yeah, and it's the one that I used the edge of the other day.
Yeah.
And this one is, remember I did some of that with Lisa's Eco Prints.
Oh, yes, the edge. So that's how she stenciled on the light and fluffy there.
Yeah.
It's just a kind of an edge to
Yeah,
blur it
remember
out.
this stuff. Yeah.
Robin says she likes the ways you glazed over the areas you wanted to tone down. Subtle change, but significant. Thanks, Robin.
You know, it
Sometimes
really,
it's a little.
it really is. It's just those little bitty things sometimes that are. Anyway, I wanted to show you those and show you that,
And keep that in mind when you're working on something and you kind of have that gut feeling that it's like, it needs, it's not quite there. It's usually something small, not something large that needs to happen. Looky there.
absolutely.
And that's our new little stencil. I have not listed that yet because we haven't discussed whether it is done or like if we like this pattern. Should I make the 5x7 version of
I really love it.
the
here.
little one?
I mean, it just works so well. All this is this was done when I was doing the clean off from
The clean offs, especially
from
with the black.
puzzle. And you can tell because it's texture paste. It's very, I mean, this doesn't have a lot of loft to it. This is just mainly the color that came off, but it's all the smooshy bits and whatnot here. Okay, now.
It's more like heavy body acrylics at that point.
Yeah.
Mixed
it
with,
is.
baby wipes.
Hey, number 28, if you mix up any colors, this is a good one to have on hand to do
Neutral.
what I just, showed you how to do there. All right, so I've got darks and lights here, and I really like this. What it was is I had Mariah mix it up. She had a mess going on over there.
It happens. Not often, but it does.
Okay, it was a faulty. It was so I just took this cadmium red light, 237, craft tint, and it was still the metal tube. So you know how old it was.
Well, that's not necessarily true. But yeah,
there are very few tubes anymore that are metal that I know about. Maybe, yeah.
some of the higher end paints and things.
But
I think.
anyway, mix this with U.S. Art Supply. That's because I have
And the rest of
tons
the
of it.
golden light texture.
Yes. We just finished it off.
And let's just say, golden light texture paste is not the same as light and fluffy.
No,
We've determined that
it is not.
each brand kind of has their own terminology, and it is not necessarily going to cross brands
No.
necessarily.
Okay, I think we're going to take the circle and
I like the idea of the circle.
I do
You've
too.
got a lot of straight going on. A lot of linear things.
And I do have some really nice open spaces that are going to take that, I think. And I'm going for 3 here. 3. Okay, so what color? And I do want to go back to my...
Yeah, and I think I will come back and put in the description. So earlier when she was showing those pink ones that she collaged on with, again, that's from our Going Grayscale. If you want cool papers to collage with, if you want cool, I think they're really cool papers, obviously because they're ours, but they are very versatile. Those are the ones that I use all the time, like in the spray videos, all of that. If you have a black inkjet printer, you can do even more things than, like, one of the things with the inkjet is that when you spray onto it, it's going to bleed out a bit. Cool thing about having the laser printer is that you get those fine lines, you could spray on it, you can alter them in ways much like what you're seeing here, but you can do it with a printable. And because they're patterned, then you can layer on top of it and make it your own. That's what we wanted to provide with our printable papers. And again, even with our stencils, we want really cool patterns that you can use in different ways and make them your own. Even the pieces and parts.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's a bit like, woo.
It really is, isn't it?
It's not coming off onto the page as I had anticipated it when you see it there in the jar.
It is extremely transparent.
Oh,
It has a lot of impasto in there. And this is number 1.
Number 1. I think number 1 started out as a yellow.
It very possibly could have. I don't know.
It looks very green in the pot, but not. It's not.
See, you never know. I'm
Tell you what, where
trying to
is
get the
Lisa
lid back
today?
on that burr.
Getting
Okay.
mileage out of that snot joke.
Is Lisa, has she shown up?
No, I think she's probably up late crafting, her and Judy. They're night owls. This early morning business is rough.
Tis.
I guess we could do a midnight or we would be terrible. We would be terrible at midnight.
Okay, I've already decided I don't like that.
Oh.
That's really ugly.
Was that number 7?
Yeah. So I'll just put it off on this one that I don't really like right now.
It'll end up being our
Oh,
favorite.
there we go. Look, that looks great there.
Yeah.
But I don't think I like that.
You're still not in love with that smushed out green.
No, I'm not.
Well, yeah, something needs to happen with that. You need to put some pattern back into it, or...
It will be taken care of. You may rest assured.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a couple weeks before we see it. But...
I'll just go ahead and, since I've
Repeat.
already got this.
Yes, repeat.
This is why I have a bunch of different stuff laying out. Because if you've got a little bit of paint and you've got that color on there and all of a sudden you're going, man, I'm not feeling that. That is pukey. And did you notice that? I just obliterated it, but what's happening here?
Mm-hmm.
Fran,
are you still with us?
Fran, are you still with us? You're going to miss out because I'm probably getting to a situation here on this little tiny...
Ooh. See, she kind of squirreled on us, but that's just because the, color demanded it.
Yeah. Well, I really didn't because we're talking about composition. I was going to work on this one.
Sure.
Yeah, I got a little bit down there and probably need a little bit more. I don't know. Not right now. I'll put that aside. All right, so we need to come back to this.
This is why it's nice to have multiple. I mean, this is kind of like creating little master boards.
It really, honestly...
So if you have these things you can bring in when you have this good flow of things happening on the gel plate, then you can get multiple pieces kind of at various stages.
I'm looking for my little circles that I have here. I don't know what I do with my circles. Oh, well, we'll just start some new ones. Okay. The reason I want to pull this off here, this purple that I decided not to use,
The purple that you
purple I decided not to use, is because I would like to not have a situation here where I'm losing my plate and I'm having to
Ah.
deal with Mucky muck.
Lisa's here now. Hello, Lisa.
Oh, Lisa, we've been talking about
Robin,
you.
and I think Robin's trying to drop links, but for some reason, I'm wondering if you have to accept moderator, because I see the little wrench next to Lisa's name, but it's not next to Robin's. So, Robin, we may have to work that out for the next one. But Lisa could drop those links in for us. Or I think I have something open up here. Let's see if I can do it and hopefully not mess anything up. Copy. There we go. That is Kylie's channel.
Look at that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like Robin.
You didn't think there was a lot of stuff out there, but there was a lot of stuff out there.
There we go. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, I think I've got my brayer cleaned off.
And your little plate.
And my little plate's pretty well cleaned off. Now we can make some decisions about color we're going to use. And I'll just put this over here because I'll fold that back in. I don't know. I'm just thinking some more red. Yeah, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is take the circle and overlap.
Okay, I like that. Yes, I like that.
Overlap those.
Because that will be interesting because there's texture there with the little stenciled pieces.
But it's kind of a dull red. This is more of a...
Powsy Wowsy red. What number is that one?
This is 10.
All right.
And I'm always having a thing going on with the... Okay, now. This is sometimes kind of tricky to get it right where you want it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of hoping that that's going to... Oh, now come on. That's lovely.
Oh,
I
that
love
is
it.
lovely.
I love it, love it, love it, love it. Did you notice some of that texture that was on there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's one cool thing. You know, many of you that are regulars know that we do this often. But one cool thing about using the texture paste on something that you then come back and gel plate print with is that it leaves an impression. So you're going to then have that repetition of that little bit of pattern.
Now we're back to our composition. We're guiding the eye around. We're telling the viewer where we want them to look.
Oh, look at that, Robin. I'll tell you what, she knows some things. Thanks. There we go. I am sometimes technical, and then sometimes I am not. But there you go.
We have
You've been moderated.
Everything in moderation.
Yes.
Said I never.
She really is not about being moderate.
All right. Now, see, look what's happening here. This is why I love transparent colors.
Yes.
Because you just get that lovely overlapping.
I love that.
But
I want you to put I feel like it needs some of that blue from the crayons. That's how you got that one blue in that other piece that is similar. It was the crayon.
I don't want to use crayons.
Okay, fine.
Mariah.
She doesn't want to use the crayons.
I don't want to use crayons, but I'm a little concerned about using blue over
Oh,
my...
no worries, Judy. I hope everything's okay.
What's happening?
She was having some family issues. Hopefully everybody's all right.
I'm bringing in Miami.
Oh, here we go. I'm telling, I really want like a little sound effect thing. I can play like, you know, a few seconds of the Miami Vice when she busts out with this blue. Cause it's
Okay,
just...
now this is going to be a little slightly purple.
Oh, and Carrie's with us. Well, maybe we can go a little bit longer if you guys want today. You know.
Well, you need to tell me my time because I have no conception of that.
We have 40 minutes.
Wow.
I know, it went kind of
How time
fast.
flies. All right, I'm going to try to hit. I don't know my circle's big enough.
So you notice that she was holding her finger like in a certain area. This is also how we hang pictures.
Okay, well,
Good job.
I missed that one, but I hit that other one.
Good jobber.
Okay. I'm just so glad we've got all these.
our little funny terms. These should
Look
be
at
our
me
hashtag.
wiping some stuff up.
Hashtag good jobber. Don't
Okay.
be mucking that. We also thought of some very inappropriate ones.
Okay, we're getting a lot of that going on in the middle here, and I'm just going to go ahead and we're not getting a circle. We're just getting kind of this woozy shape. That's because of the transparency of this. Mariah, this really isn't. This is not the true Miami.
Well,
Vice.
no, and you've still got some red on there, so you're toning
I know. I'm
it down,
kind
which
of liking
is nice.
that
Yes.
too. I really hate that,
Yeah, I don't hate that either.
and that's because I never cleaned my brayer.
That's fine.
Okay,
Are you gonna emphasize that corner with that blue?
no, I'm not.
Okay. I was waiting for her to give me some,
And-
drop some knowledge on why that it's okay for her to emphasize that corner at that moment in time.
Well, this corner's kind of emphasized anyway, but I don't really. It's not bothering me at this point. Now,
No.
if it does start to bother me, I have options. Okay, we have a nice little circle. I
Because
like
it's
that.
rounded.
I really like that. And what I'm going to do with this right now, because I don't have a directional feel about where to go, and I'm liking it. I don't know that I will later, but I'm leaving it alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need someone with a 2x4 standing next to you to smack you up the side of the head and say,
Done.
done.
Well, or certainly
Or-
leave it for a moment. Think about it. 'Cause
So that you can have some options and come back and, do some other stuff to it.
mixed media.
More compositions are ruined by overdoing than not.
Yeah.
You don't need to throw this kitchen sink in there to have it be
Mixed media.
lovely. Okay. Now, what other one were we going to work on here? Okay, I don't want to do that one. All right, we're going to change gel plates here.
Okay. Which are you going with a big plate? She's
I'm going with my 2-incher.
she's done with the shapes.
Well, not really.
Oh, well, no. So this was like the accidental piece, and then she's like,
This was
I really love this, and then she spent the afternoon farting around with it.
I was like, you never know, folks. You
Just
just
never know.
never know. All right, what's really bugging me is this ugly
Green.
green here. I love that.
Do you know what that is? I think it's that really powsy-wowsy, like Prussian blue mix that you have.
Do you think so?
I think so. Because you were kind of messing with
You
some of
could
that.
be, Mariah, you absolutely could
I'm
be.
not just sitting over here just
there we
twiddling my
go.
thumbs.
Now, I'm a little concerned about how wide this is. I don't know if I want that to be the whole thing
Well,
there.
just try to can you like side brayer? Just do a
Side
little-
brayer?
just do.
Well, says the person who, she's never,
I've never touched a shelf
she's
plate,
never,
but I got
ever.
ideas.
She's got ideas. And isn't that the best parenting advice comes from people who don't have any children? And it's kind of the same way here with
I used to be one of those people.
Yes. And everything that she ever said is she's
Yes.
paying for it in multiples.
It
Okay.
pleases her somehow. She gets to witness it all.
All right, we're getting some that's nice. Now if I can pull this off here.
Yes, I'm going to be very impressed.
Okay, now, spatially
Give us some
I'm
blue
retarded.
hearts.
So,
She is like this, like she struggles. We both do. We have moments. I'm better at it.
she is.
I practice. This is like, part of my job is to kind of move shapes about. Still struggle. But with a two-sided copy. Every time, gotta make a mark.
We do. We do.
Oh? Well, you hit the area.
I certainly did. And now I wish I were a little bit longer here.
Yeah. I was just gonna mention that, but didn't want to, point out the obvious.
That's really
Nobody
nice.
likes that person.
Nobody does.
Although John Madden made an entire career out of that.
Okay, I'm going to try to do this. I don't know if this is going to work or not.
Look at her.
No,
No,
really didn't.
I think your stuff is kind of dry over there on the plate.
Yeah, it is. Oh, well. I like it better than it was.
You can bring your shapes.
Yeah. All right. We'll just flop
You need a
this.
stamper one.
I do, and I've
Look
seen
up.
people do the
Yeah.
stamper thing. I just don't happen to have that heavy duty piece of.
Oh, they were laughing because I know I wasn't gonna point it out, but
What?
Felicia's like, did Pete just say an ugly green? See again, she sets
Yeah.
rules. She says things, but
I
there's
do.
always little, little exceptions.
I do. Okay, let's have a little.
Oh, why don't I gel plate? Yeah, because that's her department.
It's kind of
there's
like I don't. Well, I do, but boy, do I ever make a mess of it.
Yeah, she's not supposed to spray because it gets everywhere.
I used to. I've tried. I've done a spray booth. I end up with it all over me, all over everything.
Oh, our little spinny cart things. Most of the stuff that's on there is from when she was spraying things. Not me. Now I will every once in a while get it a little.
All right, now y'all need to get out your color wheel because I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do here?
What?
Let's go for it.
Oh.
It's probably going to turn into poop brown, but
We're all fans of that as well.
yeah. Making us some brown here, folks. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Now I couldn't have
No.
made that happen.
Don't ask for that to be repeated.
Yeah. This is like the, okay, now see here I am going, okay, where's the flat side of the shape?
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of the sprays. Sprays is my department. Now you're pointing out of the page there, P.
I am, but I have a slight edge there.
See? Her rules. Don't try to live in a world. It'll make you crazy. Just play along. And we got a little blurry, so you might have to bring your hand up. There we go. Man, you're getting good at that.
Yeah, I am. I wasn't even looking.
Yeah, just like, oh,
Okay.
it's magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yahoo. I don't know. I'm not feeling that right now.
That's what's nice,
Throw
like-
that over there.
Most likely what'll happen with that anyway is that it gets torn up into, and made into a tag, and we can fix that directional issue.
We can. Here's the other thing that you can do that I don't do very often is you
Oh.
can wipe off the.
Well, she did this the other day, and then we were starting. I say we again, like I'm just here for
Yeah, Mariah said something there.
supervisor role.
She talks to me.
Yeah, but she got some crazy crackling sort of happening, and they were talking about this in the gel printing group that new plates will do that. It resists the paint more so in the beginning, and then you can kind of create some of that crackly sort of paint business because it happens after you wipe it down. Again, I don't know if the baby wipes are good for the gel plate, but people seem to do it, and she does it, so I don't know. There you go.
Well, I need to mix some more of that.
Let's see.
18A. Woo.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a. Why aren't we using some of the little pieces on an acrylic block, and then you can pick it up and stamp it on? What about that?
I'm cleaning my brayer because
She can't think about that.
yeah,
I was like, what?
yeah, you're just gonna have to give me.
She's
a
struggling.
minute. Yeah, I'm having a.
Some things are happening with your brayer there.
Yeah, they are.
I think it has to do with that darn opaque paint.
Probably does. Anyway, okay, I need to get rid of this because
I will talk to her further about that, Fran. I think that's a brilliant idea, and I will make that
I
happen.
don't even know what y'all are talking about right now because I can't focus on that. I'm doing other things.
Yes, I've seen Kylie does that. She does those, yeah. We just need it on a blocky thing that she can see through. It's kind of like she has this piece of acetate that she has a purple X on. So she doesn't lose it.
I have a hard time with.
Yeah, clear objects.
Clear
like,
objects.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that would be very good and work wonderfully. I don't see a lot there. It did put a little
Good.
blue down there, and I like that.
I'm gonna
Do some more of that.
do some more of that over here. I really do love this color, and I don't know why I keep putting this thing over here where I can't get to it.
I don't know either. You have all wide open spaces.
I do. But
One
now back to this acrylic thing. I would love this, but I have tried to find pieces of acrylic that are affordable.
Yeah, they're pretty pricey.
They're extremely pricey. I did think about, you know, taking it to Lowe's or, you know, one of the
Hardware stores, big box store.
yeah, and having them cut up a big piece. But you know, I don't get out much. If I can't get it on the
I think
World Wide
we're gonna give
Web.
it a whirl with the little things that we have. Now, a lot of them are kind of a pink hue because Izzy does most of the stamping with that situation, and pink is her favorite color. We may have to clean them up because there might be some, you know. Although, if you're just using, you're just gonna put the gel plate, the little piece, on there,
well, it needs
and then
yeah,
you can, yeah,
but it also needs to not fall off.
yes.
Oh, I love that. I think that's really. Can y'all see that? I don't know what you can see there. Isn't that? I think it's very subtle. I like it. Okay, I'm putting this aside for right
Oh,
now.
so Robin says, make jelly plate mounts. Buy plastic window pane at the Home Depot or at the home store and cut it up. You just score it and snap it. Oh.
Seriously.
Hi, if anybody knows, it's Robin. She's like done it all.
Hey, that sounds. You can score it and snap it.
Score
So
it and snap it.
we could just take like a
Razor blade. Like the
yeah,
utility
or
knife. Yeah.
carpet knife thing.
All right. I think it's
Yeah.
worth a try. I'll go to the store.
Yeah, right. I would love that. Okay, now I'm going to bring in. I'm kind of done with that. Y'all got that idea with the little.
Yeah.
Okay.
Composition.
Composition.
Oh, I had forgotten about these. And this was kind of one of those things,
What?
like if we had time, we were going to bring them in.
We've had these for 3 weeks.
Yes.
Or longer. But these are, Mariah can tell you about what this
They're
stuff
just
is.
inkjet transparencies. And I know Judy P has some because she sent us some really cool things. She does some cool things with the transparency deals. I was like, I think that's what it is because it had that finish on the one side. And I just know that from, my admin days. And had some in a packet that, from years ago. P was worried. She's like, is it still going to work? And I'm like, why wouldn't it? I don't know. It worked. It printed. Now, I had some technical difficulties with the size, but I don't know what's been going on with my printer settings. I feel like it's something with the operating system update, but I don't know. I'm feeling a little paranoid about it.
All right. Well, the thing that I'm not not going to do anything wonderful and fabulous with these, but I think what it lets you do is it lets you work out what might work rather than just going with it and having that happen. Because I think that this is lovely on top of this. And I could do that with the black texture paste. Because I have that option. I think this is even lovely. And the thing about it is you can move it around. You can say, oh, this is going to look cool there.
Judy said that if you go to the dollar store, even some of the frames will have plastic, not glass. And we could use those.
Well, but I need something to hold it. If I'm going to pick it up and move
Right,
it.
but we could
I
cut
guess
that
we
up.
could
Like
cut
if you
'em
get a 5x7
do
and
a
then
block and make them glue them together.
it's brilliant. We're
Brilliant.
doing that.
Love it, love it, love it.
Thank
Okay, here is an extremely, oh, look at this butter. Now this is just from a
Wipe off.
clean off, wipe off. I'm telling you what, that butter
Bye,
stuff.
Kylie. Thank you for stopping by.
Bye. Okay, that's done with that. And here, this is just really, really not very, I don't know. It's really kind of,
All right, so why are you showing these things? We need to discuss that. We sort of got off on the acrylic.
Well, I'm just showing you
for placement.
Yeah, what you can do with your placement on different. Okay, this is really ugly. You're right. I don't even know what that needs to be worked on a lot. But here are the big flowers, and here are the little flowers, and the big flowers, obviously. But sometimes I like just a flower in some place, like here. That's much better than this.
Yeah.
If you just want one, okay? Bigger things may require, I don't know, whatever. All right, well, now what? I finally got those in.
Got those in.
I got those in. I put them over here. I can put them away.
How you can utilize that in your own stuff is like printing out. If you have artwork that you want to layer, that sort of thing. I have thought about adding these as something available in our store, but I still need to think upon that because then there's the ability to use our artwork in ways that I don't necessarily want at that point. Like I lose all control of it at that point. Not that I have a ton, but still. I like to, hold on to what I can. But we just wanted to bring that out, kind of spark some ideas. Show us in the group, like, ways that you would use transparencies and how you can kind of alter your game with your mixed media. That whole idea of thinking about layout, composition, these are little tools that can help you kind of figure something out before going in and putting down the paint or putting down the stenciling, that sort of thing. So, obviously you would have to have copies of the things, which you could probably do. There are ways to do that and, still be within the, angel policy or copywriting. Loosely-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to do.
What are these?
What's our time?
What
here?
are these, P?
Well, these are.
You got 20 minutes.
Pieces of chipboard that I have stenciled onto with different. This looks like it's either Golden or U.S. Art Supply. It's not light and fluffy. But I'm hoping it has enough loft that I can do it.
I think it
I actually made these originally because I wanted covers. But, I don't know, they've just... This
is
is
kind of
my
cool texture plate.
favorite color here. Made sure I had some of that mixed up.
Rust? What number is that?
I'm not really sure what number
Does it not have a number?
Is.
Oh, it does.
15.
There we go.
And you need to really beat this in there.
Oh,
sorry,
Fran. So the ones above there are made with hot glue. So yes, carving, no. The other way that we make stamps, and those flowers that you see that are, PM Artist Studio flowers, and any of you that have received Happy Mail have probably received something with those flowers on them. Those originally were, or it was a stamp that P made out of kneaded erasers. We have some really, really old videos that we talk about that. If you want to go watch them, great. Just please know that was in the very, very beginning. We've gotten a little bit better at videos, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really have. I'm certainly a lot more relaxed and not,
Is nervous.
nervous. And okay, well, what happened there was that was not very dark, but we know how to fix that. And I'm having trouble with my extra things here.
Yeah. It's
Here we
always
go.
space.
My hair's burnt umber, Mariah's favorite. Burnt umber.
So shall I tell the joke?
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
going to tell the joke. Always tell the joke.
Always.
Why can they never get umber right? It's either burnt or raw. Kneaded erasers. Now, here's the thing. Not all kneaded erasers are equal.
Oh.
P ordered these ones that were kind of an off-brand or whatever, and they were terrible. They smelled terrible. They were plasticky. They were horrible.
Yeah.
Send them back.
They were not good.
Dick Blick is a place. Their brand of kneaded erasers are wonderful. There are probably others. I think Faber-Castell has kneaded erasers, but they're the gray ones that you can knead into shapes and things, but you can also erase with them. But P makes kneaded eraser stamps. Where are the stamps? They're over there. Should I show some of those?
They're on top of the printer. You may.
Let me go grab them. We'll show you guys those. 1 second. Be right
Now
back.
this was back in the day when we were still designing cards and things. And you know, I would get really bored with what Mariah was doing, and I mean, you know, I can just make so many cards and I'm done with that. And this was before gel plating. Really seriously, gel plating has been like a
Life changer.
Okay, yeah, I'm starting to really love that. Starting to get some of that crusty bits. Okay, Fran, Leslie, see
It's
what's
happening.
happening here? And I'm not going to change plates or anything.
Well, I'll just have them over here.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off because I would like to get more crisp images here, and I'm not getting that because I've got all this mucky muck on my plate.
So here are the original. You might even recognize this. I think this is gears. So our pattern, it started out with this. There's the flower. But see, it's just this gray. And the nice thing is you can see on the back side it has the little stuff from, we have one of those stamp things with the Velcro-y back. And so they kind of even work with that, but that's all they are. Now they are a bit organic because as you use them, they smush and such. You don't want to clean them. That does not work.
You just keep manipulating them.
Yeah, so they evolve. But let's see here. Oh, here's one from, I think, didn't you and Izzy made this one. Cute little heart. You know.
Okay, I'm cleaning off, hopefully I'm cleaning off my plate with an opaque, and I don't always use, I could grab anything, but Titan Buff.
That's her favorite. Or the marshmallow.
Toasted marshmallow.
She ordered more of that.
I did. And they don't have a large size in toasted marshmallow, much to my dismay.
Yes, exactly, Robin. Yeah, they are typically for like
okay, I'm getting a pull up there.
charcoal drawing.
So I'm going to approach this from the other way. Oh, and it's just sometimes you just can't approach it. You just have it coming from all different.
I hear it. See, Fran, are you watching? There we go. That's how it happens. Some little bits. The map has begun.
See that? Now, I just leave those out there, and they just keep building up.
Now, what we could do is we could create like a mask. Mappy looking mask. And
Yeah,
you could
we
sort
could.
of get that.
But
But you're not
these-
going to get that crusty stuff around it
Yeah.
necessarily.
What you're seeing here, and you know, I can keep at this and pull those off, or I can let this dry, take clear packing tape, not masking tape.
Not masking tape.
No
that will
masking
be
tape.
terrible. What, somebody did that and
Yeah,
it was
and it
bad.
pulled a hole in their gel plate. And wait till this is really dry and just pull it off. You can also just rub it with your finger.
They so love. I love
Spit
the
on
crust-
it a little bit and
spit
rub
on
it.
it a little bit.
And it just rubs right off. Well, sort of, kind of. There you go. Okay. Yeah, you got options.
If you leave it on there, it will kind of grow.
It grows. And it grows. And it continues to grow until
Yeah.
you don't really like... Oh, let's use some cheddar.
Is this the real cheddar? Oh, it's the real cheddar.
I found it.
I found it. I found it over here.
No, it did. It was at the bottom of the bin.
Mm-hmm.
We had some serious reorganization. Y'all right now, this is, you know, if you've got things to do and people to see, you can
It's
just.
just giving you permission. Hey, before you go, if you give a little thumbs up if you haven't already, we very much appreciate that. You know, we do this each week. We love having you around and all that good stuff, but, you know, we do plan to be here about another 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Want to watch gel plate poles and such. I could spray this thing.
You could.
I'm just going to spray it. Do you guys want to see it on camera? Let me know in the chat. I'll turn my above camera on if you want.
Instead of looking at your face.
Instead of looking at my face. I can do that. Oh, you're getting kind of crusty bits over there off that corner too.
Yeah, I did a little bit, but now see how that's
Mm-hmm.
voiding out there.
Are you going to use any of our stencils?
I am using them in the sense that I'm stamping. I'm not really up for the...
It's just not stenciling today.
I'm not stenciling today. I'm only stenciling with...
Well, that's true. You are using our patterns with the impression plates, basically.
Look at that.
Yes.
I did some great stuff on that one. I really did.
I think that was the beginning of that other one.
It was.
It has the same colors.
Hmm.
And what'll happen eventually is these will turn into, like, we'll either cut them up and turn them into, like, ATCs because they're really cool because they're heavy.
Yeah. They're nice and heavy, and they're getting heavier.
Or covers to books.
Yeah, I don't really know exactly what.
Busted out the spiral thing the other day. Oh, they want to see spray. Okay.
They do want to see the spray?
They want to see the spray. So let me turn that one off. That one
I'm-
on.
I'm just going to go ahead and
I
carry
think it's
on
upside
here.
down. I do apologize about that.
Here's toasted marshmallow.
Oh no, it's right side up. I was just seeing the keyboard. I'm gonna move
See
it
what's
off.
going to happen here.
I did get some spray on the keyboard the other day.
Oh, you should see my mouse.
Okay, so you want this to be the kind of teal-ish seafoamy.
Very pale. So look at that edge there.
Okay.
One edge. And I don't want it like
Yeah, crazy.
crazy.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I know the exact spray that I need here is the Lindy's. That new one.
Just
I got like 50 million blues going on here that are these crazy mixes that I don't really know what some of them are exactly, but this is an awesome, awesome color. It's the T-Bird Turquoise from Lindy's. It's very subtle. So now, I really wish I had Seth's turquoisey color.
Check this out. Look, guys.
Ooh.
Now see, look, I pulled up some of the mucky muck there.
Muckety muck.
Okay, this is a really nice one.
But what I'm going to do is try to leave it there for just a second because, like I said, with the Lindy's, it's not as highly pigmented. So, it's not gonna, it's not quite like Seth After's, the icing sprays. See, if I go in there, it's really going to lift a lot of it up. It kind of goes to the edge. But it's a good starting point. Now, I could let it dry on there and see what happens. I probably would eventually get there. But we're going to go a little more forceful and make some things happen.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Was that for me or for you?
Yeah, I'm going to bring in...
Now, I'm very sad to say that the Mr. Huey's is pretty much no longer available. You can come across it. This was my most favorite. If anybody knows of a product that is similar to this, I did find something close in an edible color spray for baking.
Yeah, Felicia can probably tell us about that.
Well, she had it out. But then P mixed in some other crazy blue stuff. So it's, I think what happened is I put this over in here to extend the life of my Mr. Huey's. But see, now I've got some heavier color there. I like because like P said, she wanted it more subtle. So I'm just going to come in with the sponge and do the spray into the sponge and sort of just lightly come in on top of what I'd already sprayed there with the Lindy's, because it's just not, it doesn't go into the texture paste like some of the more pigmented stuff does. And I'm still even there. A little trouble there. It's gonna be extremely subtle. I don't know if that's gonna be too subtle for P, but it's looking pretty good.
Let me see. I yeah, wait, don't do anything else.
Okay, she's happy. It will lighten up too, remember.
Yeah.
Any other colors you want on there?
Well, I wanted you to put some other color in the corners, but you already put that blue over the top of it.
I can fix that. What do you want?
I want you to repeat the peachy color, you know, like in part of the stencil,
In
white
here?
stencil design.
In here? Okay.
Just like this. Kind of flow like that. Yeah, I would like the turquoise to remain, but I would like some of that peachy on.
I'm
maybe.
on it, lady. I'm on it.
She's on it, folks.
Well, hopefully, I don't know if that's gonna spray anymore because I forgot to wipe its nose and it ain't happy. Okay, let's see here.
Okay, look at this. How cool is this? Because, and see, this is what is so awesome about using these things. So what it does, and you can't get this. This is like pulling a ghost print, but without pulling a ghost print. And I just now discovered this. Because this plate takes up some of, then you're getting these nice areas here where your pattern is showing through. But that outline, isn't that wonderful? I think that's quite wonderful. And getting a nice kind of ombre effect there. And pulled off a few of the muckety muck. See, that's what irks me, because you can't always predict when they're going to come loose and
That's what
and become part of the.
scares her.
So I'm
slightly.
poking that. I'm getting that off of there. You know, I don't know if this is acceptable jelly plating practice.
That's why we're doing things at the end here.
Yeah,
If you've made it this far, you like us, and you're not going to judge us. Hopefully. If so, you know, at least leave a comment below.
Turning me into the jelly plate police.
There. Are you happy?
I'm much happier.
Here, put it over on the big screen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, Mariah sometimes reads my mind. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times for her to.
Yeah, sometimes a little yelling and, you know, mean words.
Very rarely does that happen.
It's just getting better.
I did have a total meltdown once I spent 2 hours making these beautiful spiral circles.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk for like a day.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
I said, I need for you to go away right now, because the things I'm going to say are not going to be.
Yeah, she was mad.
I was angry. Okay.
Fran wants to know what's the thing with the crosses.
What's the thing with the cross?
This thing?
Yes. These are X's, Fran. They're not crosses. They're X's.
And we've got a new one.
And
That's the jacks.
They're dagger X's. Do you notice? They're crossed.
Yeah, crisscross.
Crisscross. But these right here are interrupted. So I like them because I think they're sort of.
I don't have that available yet. Those are the ones that I'm No, or maybe I do. I can't remember. I need to go back
see,
and look.
here's that little. I really think people would be interested in that one.
Okay, I'm going to list
really
that one this week.
I like that, and it works really well on ATCs.
Oh, Sharon wants you to talk more about the impression plate. So yeah, let's
These
start.
These things.
Yes. So start to finish, what she has done. Go ahead, P.
Start to finish is I put my stencil down on this, and this is the 2-inch.
Yeah, where is... It'd probably be helpful, yeah, to show above you.
Oh, yes. I put them all together.
She's going to mess up her light, but that's all right.
Yeah, that's all right.
If it all comes crashing down.
Okay, here's the... Can you see it? I don't...
Those are the little X's. Do I
Little
have
X's.
those?
Here's the interrupted X's, which I'm quite fond of. And then there's this one. And what I did is I laid it down, stenciled with... And this is light and fluffy. I can just tell you by the way it feels.
It's the high, it like gives you that loft.
High
it
loft.
dries very quickly.
You get the best pattern from this.
Yeah.
And you notice, and I think this is light and fluffy also. Yeah. And then let that dry, move it over. And, you know, I've got kind of a big space here, but I don't know.
I like
kind
that.
of like it. And you could make that all. And this is just one stencil. This is another stencil. And it is light and fluffy, too, I can tell you.
Those
just
are
because the
one
loft.
of two styles of the waves.
Yeah.
And those are all available in the shop.
And here's another one. Now, I don't think that this is light and fluffy.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking at it from here, and it's got to be, because it is pretty thick.
Well, it could be the golden, because I don't see the nice... Light and fluffy has almost a spongy texture to it. And that's why it works really... You can tell the difference when you feel it.
Okay.
You can tell. This is light and fluffy.
Oh, flip the other one that you have in your hand there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So remember, this is our specialty one. You can order the lattice in the shop if you've made it this far and you're watching our stream and you want the broken lattice. You just have to say so in the comments of your order. Oh yes, you need light and fluffy in your life, and you will not feel like you'll be like, oh, what was all this other stuff I was using? And
Yeah,
why? Now the cool thing, Sharon and Marianne were doing last night in their live stream. They were using the Nouveau
Prussian blue.
Her and Mo have this love of Prussian blue. Anyway, so they were doing the Nouveau, like there was one that puffed up when you put the heat on it. They had crackle paste. They were testing out all kinds of the Nouveau products. Our big gripe about the Nouveau product was that it's all shimmery, especially the crackle thing that we were more interested in.
Yeah.
So we ended up actually going out and ordering some Distress Crackle.
From Tim, baby.
Because P has not had luck with any other so far.
No,
It's just a little. That was another moment. She just doesn't want to talk about it because normally she can get things to work. And she even went out to the website and downloaded information and sent emails. Did you? Yeah, they sent you back an email, didn't they? She very rarely will do that sort of thing.
No,
she was serious.
I'll just use it for something else. I'll use it to mix in with something else because it's clear, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, this is blue, so I'm thinking wavy. I was going to do the lattice.
Yeah, so that's broken lattice right there, Fran, that you see. I don't know what she's doing on the back side there, but
I'm doing the other one of our other.
Oh, okay.
The reason I do this with this clean brayer that really isn't a very good brayer.
It's a hard one.
It's a hard one. It's made for lithography. I just used to do lithography with my neighbor because she had a stone. Anyway, and it also works for die cuts, what do you call the thing where you carve things out?
Yeah, that's kind of what, the
lino print.
Layout, yeah.
Okay.
And I can't remember which style this is. There's just two. There's style 1 and style 2. Order the set. You'll be safe.
But I really would like for the people with the soft roller to give me more room here to clean it up, because that's really nice.
I wonder why that is. Maybe there's some...
I don't know.
Hey, Speedball, if you're watching. We have questions.
But I've got a really nice roll off here. Look at that.
Look at that. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, I'm taking that. Move that over here and get the new one.
Oh, well, we're at our 2 hours. We'll continue on. I don't care.
We've got to at least pull this print.
Yeah, I say until Izzy gets home. They're still out at the store.
Yeah,
so.
and she would be really upset if we didn't let her say hello to you all.
Or goodbyes.
Hello, goodbye.
Ooh.
These plates just make a total different impression than your stencils.
So what you do is you buy a stencil, then you can, do this, and then that way you're kind of building up really cool grunge on these things. Once it hits to a point of you're like, ooh, wow, make it into a cover, make a new impression plate, and there you go.
And you just keep recycling
We've thought about selling the impression plates, but it's kind of like, well, buy the stencil and you can make your own. Buy some light and fluffy.
Yes. Why would you buy something?
Please use our affiliate links.
Yes.
We would like to make a little bit of money off of it,
Yeah.
possibly.
Okay, I really want to do this one because you can see nothing has ever been done to it. So I do want to do that. If you need to go, you can go. But I want to use a different color of. Now,
Hit the like button if you haven't already.
Is Mo still there?
Mo wasn't with us today.
Oh, well, she will be later
Yeah.
because she has things to do. We talked about this Prussian blue business.
Oh, they did a whole comparison thing.
Yeah.
great.
Okay, this is an old one. You can tell by the two. This is a newish one called Basics, and I don't know what that means. And then they have the Amsterdam, which is still, it's in the same price range as the Liquitex Expert. But this is the one that I really like this one. And then Amsterdam Standard. And as you can see, this was $3.99, and I think this one was like $6.99 or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. They're real proud of this one. And see what's happening in the corners here? And I don't really care because of what I'm doing right now. Boy, I'll tell you what, we're down to the nitty-gritty here.
Oh, yeah, you are. And that stuff is, like, those plastic tubes are hard to squeeze at the very end.
Heavy body, yeah, and I usually just end up
Cutting it, scooping it out.
putting them in a jar.
That's why the jars are very nice to have on hand.
If you don't have jars, you need to get some because you can use them for a whole lot of things. But look at the difference in this blue. These are heavy bodies, require a little bit more. But now they don't, these are not opens. These are just regular.
There's the link to the Light and Fluffy. If you guys want to use our affiliate link, I mean, obviously, that's very much appreciated.
You want to get it down in there with your, you can just use your hand, but the reason I'm using this is, this side's kind of rough.
Yeah, this is
how you don't have to use, I was running low on chipboard, and so I utilized both sides. I don't recommend that, by the way.
Oh, Fran, those are also, yeah, we get those on Amazon. Let me see if, yeah, I don't know about the UK. Oh, you know who you need to ask is Mo, because didn't she find the jars? She has a special link for the jars, I believe, because she found them somewhere else. So, ask in the group, or actually just search, because I think she posted it in the Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists. If you guys, I think most of you that are here in the chat for sure are all members of the group. Ooh.
Isn't that cool looking?
See, you can't get that with the stencil.
No.
You can only do that with the impression plate.
Yeah.
Because it's like a big stamp.
It's like a very large stamp that you made yourself.
Yeah.
I'm really waiting for Lisa or Judy to go ahead and use some of their, because they could make similar things just using their.
Oh, the other stencils and things that they have?
And using these stencils with the impasto, I don't know that it would work.
Oh, yeah.
But it'd certainly be worth an experiment, I think. Well, I love this. I think this looks very cool. Now, you realize if you lighten your pressure up, you'll get more of the white showing. But because I pushed that down in there,
it made connection, especially in the middle.
Yeah, because I really pushed there.
Oh, Lisa says she's going to try it now. Okay. Post it in the group.
And, you know, the thing is you could go ahead and...
Oh, thank you, Robin. Robin's dropping links. I love you guys. Moderators.
Put some of my grungy coffee paste around the edge of this. And some of that shiny stuff. And, I mean, wouldn't this be an awesome cover? And then you turn it over to the other side and you've got a whole new...
Yeah.
You know?
Cut it in half.
Yeah.
Yeah, front and back and inside.
Yeah.
There you go.
You heard it here.
Oh, she just got a new supply in. Judy did.
She got a new supply chipboard?
No, Impasto.
Oh.
I think she's buying it by the case these days.
I buy it 2 at a time, too.
Yeah.
And I'm down to the last little bit in one, but I checked and made sure that I still had a backup.
Yeah.
Because when I get that low, I'm like, oh, no, we don't want that to happen. Same way with Light and Fluffy.
Yes.
Light and Fluffy.
Maybe they'll listen to us all. If we all emailed them and said, could you please let me like a 16-ounce jar? Like, there's no worry that it's going to dry up around here. Like, these are for the serious Light and Fluffiers.
And we're becoming a force.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, guys. I think that is a really good place to end. Not sure what is our plan for next week. Maybe we'll talk about that in the group. We've got some ideas on some things, but some stuff has to happen before that all happens. I know I'm being very secretive, but I don't like to promise anything that we can't deliver on.
Yeah, no kidding.
So we could... Oh, one of the other things, I do want to put it out there, and if you guys want to come back after the video's rendered or any of that, is always really helpful as well. Making the comments, that is huge. But what we'd like to know is if we were to do a hourly thing each day, like just to post a video, what kind of projects would you want us to do? Like some of the bigger journal builds. Because they take a long time, and I think that, you know, the process videos with all the speed through is, you know, you don't get to see everything. Whereas if we did sort of a daily thing, we've even talked about maybe making it a live stream, but that gets tricky, just with how our lives work around here, unless you want to hear a bunch of background noise. But those are some ideas that we've had. So come back, comment in the comments, or let us know in the group if you are part of that. We very much want to hear from you. We'd love to do a journal series, but just want to like know from you guys. It's important. Maps. Fran wants more maps.
Yeah. Now this is interesting.
Oh, that's so funny.
This says Prussian blue hue.
All right, she's going to yammer on about this for a while. Check back in the group. Thank you guys all, and we will see you next week. We'll let you know what we're going to be doing. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.